Alright guys, we have a custom ROM hack made that basically you come into Zebas with everything that you would normally leave. So without further ado, I'm going to hand the commentary off to EDU and Mishrak. Let them have their run.
What's up, guys? Ready for a countdown, everybody? Alright. So you start in 3, 2, 1, now.
Now we're live. Now we're live.
Alright. Okay, so New Game Plus, an idea from Toto where we basically just start with all the items of the game. Right now he has 100% item collection. And as you can see, he has 44 total energy. The idea is to take damage from Ridley just so you get to 29 before and he can escape. Otherwise you would have to shoot him 100 times. But taking damage is just a safer way. And as you can see, he also has Hyperbeam. There are two options of playing this game, either with Hyperbeam or with having all the 5 regular beams that we are used to. There are some advantages to having the regular beams, but just for the sake of blowing stuff up, it's better to take Hyperbeam. This is a very therapeutic ROM hack because it's just essentially a boss rush. You don't have to worry about item collecting. You just go from one boss to the next using the fastest strats you can think of, right as you land on Zebes. For example, we're going to start with Phantoon, and conveniently we're going to have all of our energy back by the time we get there. We're going to have a full 14 energy tanks, full reserves, full everything. So we should not be afraid of wasting energy. And even though we have all 100 items with us, the original items are still in the same place. So it's best to avoid them because they're gonna have no use.
Also,
and just for the sake of... Yes, go on,
if I may interrupt you. Also, contrary to what New Game Plus normally means, essentially the game getting harder and the enemies and the bosses getting tougher and harder. In Super Metroid New Game Plus, thanks to the Hyperbeam, everything gets a lot easier and a lot weaker.
Yes, for the sake of comparison, we're going to talk numbers here. It's my favorite subject. If you get the strongest beam that you could get in the vanilla game, which is charged ice, wave, and plasma, that will do 900 damage, and the Hyper Beam does 1000 damage. Just a little more. We're gonna go through the bosses and tell you how much HP they have. That applies to the vanilla version as well. Once again, this is the exact same as vanilla, no differences at all, except we just start all OP. So coming up to Phantoon, he has 2500 HP. That would mean 3 hits from Hyper Beam. But you don't want to start shooting a Hyper Beam right away, otherwise he just vanishes. He has missile selected, as you can see, because he wants to start with a missile so he can fly across the room and then switch to X-Ray to get 3 hits on him. So let's see what kind of pattern he gets here. Not a fast, got a mid, and he went away. It's fine though. It doesn't take long to kill him. So he uses the missile, fires a shot, and X-Ray just a little late. So it didn't go exactly as planned, but really that's not too big of a deal, as he's dead just right now.
Very easy 3-round.
Yes. Phantoon should be always the first boss to face in this category, as he's the closest. The only goes to face the Golden Four bosses and then just head to Torian, where we're gonna see some different stuff. By consequence of not having the regular beams that we have with the vanilla game.
As it was just mentioned in chat that Mishrak missed the X-ray buffering, maybe you want to go over that and explain that for a moment?
Yes, so the X-ray buffering is about doing a lot of hits on the same boss. What is actually supposed to happen is to shoot the beam, and right as it connects with Fentune, start to X-ray buffer, and you count up to 3 hits on Fentune, and he'll be dead at that very instant. It's a strategy that can be done with more bosses in this run. It could be done, but it was actually found to not be faster and to just load a lot of hyper beams into it. The Meridia bosses, that would be the case. And now going down Red Tower, the next target would be our green little friend Kraid. Doesn't take long to get there. Like we said, just a relaxing run where you just get to take revenge on all of the bosses that give you hard times on the original game. This is purely for the sake of destroying stuff, not being afraid of using your weapons. The Kappa Pride weapon. So he's gonna blow the Meridia tube right now, because that'll grant him access later to Meridia, where he shall return to later. Like in any percent new route that you see nowadays, it's much faster to get Torian coming from Dragon instead of Ridley, so that's why we're not going to Dragon just yet. It's much of a faster route if you go to Norfair first, and then go to Meridia to head to Torian finally. Let me see if Mishrak puts a strat he's being obsessed with some time now by reaching this eye door. Not quite. Now, here's the thing with Kraid. He has 1,000 health, and the Hyper Beam does 1,000 damage. You don't want to immediately use a Hyper Beam on Kraid to insta-kill him, because that doesn't quite work. You end up crashing the game in some sort of fashion that I don't really understand. So what's best to do is to lower his health a little, and then shoot the Hyper Beam. Or you could just do the traditional method. Let's see what he does. Okay, at least he's gonna be safe. Because now, with that super missile that does 300 damage, Kraid now stands at 700. So a Hyper Beam shot would not cause any shenanigans, as he just did right now, no worries at all. No need to collect any drops, because this is the OP hack. And one thing to note, if you don't remember from the original game, that makes it way easier, Hyper Beam has Turbo Fire, which means that's the only kind of Hyper Beam you're getting. There's no way to charge it. Otherwise, it would just be ridiculous.
That would be beautiful. Triple the Hyper Beam damage.
Maybe one day.
I mean, it's not like we can already blow up every enemy instantly, but just to add a little bit more revenge, that would be beautiful.
Yeah, to make the game a little more interesting, you could try playing this game while beating all the bosses. We're not going to be facing all of the bosses in this case, like Crocmire, Golden Teresa, Spore Spawn. I mean, just for the sake of variety, going through every single main enemy instead of just reaching the main goal. But Norfair is interesting enough. mostly because of lag reduction strats. Hyperbeam can be pretty laggy, and clearing the enemies on the screen may help with that. Alright, the chronic boost. I still can't get the trick. Alright, on to Ridley, but before there, we got some ground to cover, but just like always, it's very satisfying to go through. It's nice knowing that you have screw attack for most of the rooms, especially fast pillars and worst room.
So
Don't
as
have to worry about those.
as you might already guess now, the route is actually Fantoon, Kraid, and Ridley Dragon. We actually spent quite some time with spreadsheets and timing rooms right going to Ragchip, finding out if it would be faster to actually not go to Ragchip first. But it turns out that after a lot of combination stuff and a lot of room times, that it was faster visiting Fantoon first, just in regard of the items you already have from the beginning of the run.
Where was I during that time?
Not in the right Discord.
Bummer.
Yeah.
So as you can see, he killed some of the key hunters to reduce the lag from when he landed the power bomb. And for some reason there was no lag reduction strats here in Wasteland, even though he killed all the side hoppers, or Disgigas if you prefer, before laying the power bomb. Now here for the Steel Pirates. It could be much of a rainbow show if you mess it up a lot, but that's not what we want. So just pierce right through. 2 shots does the job well. Oop. That's a powerhouse. Alright, Ridley has 18,000 HP, which means it will take 18 shots. There's a lot of setups to do this fight, but let's see what Mish does. Alright, so he's halfway dead already. He might be dead just now, I'm pretty sure he is. And that's it. Just some sweet revenge from old times. That's what I like to think of this ROM hack best. If you just can't stand playing the bosses fairly, just boot up this hack and show them who's the more powerful. Ooh, almost on the return powerhouse. So only one boss left. We're making our way. This is starting to look familiar, much like any percent new route. As Ridley is not the last boss, Dragon is. And you might wanna guess right now, the regular 5 beams could be beneficial in comparison to Hyperbeam. I tested with both routes, and you can imagine that having charged Ice, Wave, and Plasma, because Phaser is just pointless if you have Plasma. They could be beneficial in a few rooms, and you can guess which ones they are. Alright, so having Screw Attack and Hyper Beam, you just don't really care about those 3 musketeers.
Yeah, that's like cutting through butter.
Quite literally.
And
Even though they're
there's
the stuff of nightmares.
there's the first guess. Maybe the Metroids. We'll see
Maybe
if
the
you're right about
Metroid.
that. This is also probably the most fast-paced category of Super Metroid regarding no major glitches.
Yes, which is what I was about to not mention. Like, I had this idea of New Game Plus, where you just started on the ship with 100% items. You had a 100% item save file, and then you did space time to reset the game, save. You save, reset, and then go from there. But you'd have to watch the whole cutscene again, and that turned out to be not as fun. That's why Total made this beauty for us. No need to watch the cutscene. An option of having Hyperbeam, and also an option of having the 5 regular beams.
I'm sorry I gave that away. I didn't know you didn't want to mention it.
It was a little before this hack was released, which was around the end of February this year. It's a pretty recent hack, and it's one of the more fun ones, if you ask me. Alright, so coming up to Bobmoon, he has 3000 HP, so 3 hits should do. The thing is, no matter how fast you shoot him, he will not be dead until his body is completely out of the hull. So as you could see, he shot the 3 beams before he was completely out, but he only died a few frames later. That is to be expected. But you also don't want to shoot too much in there to not cause a lot of lag, because it looks atrocious. Ooh, going for the halfie. Alright. It's a nice thing about getting a not so fast strat in this hack, because you don't have to worry about it too much, because it has space jump. And now, almost finally, we have Dragon, 6000 HP. It might be tricky to land all the 6 hits on the first swoop. It is possible. It depends on position and when you start firing. But you might have to turn around to do the last 1 or 2 shots. But of course, what you want is to kill it on the first swoop and next to the ground already. And yeah, that's exactly what you want. On the first swoop, and Dragon was pretty close to the center of the room. Because depending on where Dragon dies, it may take a faster animation to end the fight totally. Like if Dragon is way up there, it's gonna take a while for it to come down, and consequently the fight will take longer to end. It's already over, but it's not over. And without much stress in the way, we're just heading to Torium. Did I tell you that it's just satisfying to use Hyperbeam all the way through the game? Like, it's just a fantasy of having the beam you get at the end of the game to use it through the whole game. You can find many situations where it can be rather fun to use, like the previously mentioned all bosses challenge. Or maybe you could think of something else if you want to approach this hack, which I highly recommend. One tile gaps are not impossible. And also, like I've said before, the items are still in their original place. and Mishrak will go to Terminator room. I don't know what he plans to do, because he's been concerned about doing safety, maybe safety, maybe not safety strats about reserves or getting grabbed by the baby in case that happens. But the Terminator tank is gonna be in the way, and if he chooses to skip it, you might see him doing a very preemptive jump to go over it. But it's very easy to actually touch the E-tank without wanting it. It's happened to me more times than I like to admit. But hey, if you get it, you're gonna end with a collection rate of 101%, which you don't see every day. Ooh! Tricky slopes. I mean, you just saw 100.9%, which doesn't make sense. 101% at least makes a little more sense. So he's gonna try to go for all the fast strats, stuttering, fast strats, but as some of you might have guessed, because he has Hyperbeam and not Ice Beam, the Metroids will have to be dealt with the slow way. Metroids take 5 power bomb flashes to die, which can happen from 3 power bombs, as they have each a chance of double hit. So he's gonna do grouping strats. I don't know if he's gonna deactivate Screw Attack before going there, because Screw Attack repels Metroids. It might be a little easier if he deactivated, but I don't know how much he wants to pause. Well, he didn't pause before the elevator. I guess he's just going with that. He might break out of spin to connect with the Metroids, one by one.
On a little side note, not only Screw Attack repels the Metroids, but also Pseudo Screw, so holding a charge in vanilla, for example, while spin jumping also repels the Metroids.
I don't think I knew that.
Yeah,
maybe that'll have some use.
It seems like a lot of people didn't know that.
One thing some people might not know about killing Metroids with power bombs, as you usually see with runs, popular runs, killing Metroids, they will grant you 5 drops, 6 if you wait long enough. But if you kill them with power bombs, they will only drop 1 thing each. As long as it is the finishing blow. If the finishing blow is a power bomb, they're only going to drop 1 item. The finishing blow is either missiles or supers after being frozen, which you don't have Ice Beam in this case. They're going to drop 5, 6 items. Alright. The baby skip is same as always, except you have Hyper Beam. I don't know how much laggier it is. Those blocks are not too much of a problem. He's been concerned about doing this Metroid skip. I don't know how much he's been dragging this part. Let's see how he does. Oh, gets grabbed. Now this is what I'm wondering. What is he gonna go for? He has reserves. There's a lot of options. He could fill the reserves and go all the way to Mother Brain 1 and do a Crystal Flash before Mother Brain 2 rises. He could just go to the energy refill on the next room. Or just go with the 400 in the reserves and not go for stand-up. Why would you do that? So yeah, it looks like no need to overthink it, just get the refill. And now, you can't do Z skip without ice. That's a lie. You can actually do a speed Z skip. He can do a short charge before, do a diagonal spark, and clip through the Zebatites. He said he's gonna try that once, but if that doesn't work, you have a lot of ammo. Oh yeah, doing a safety save in case something goes wrong with the stand-up glitch. I don't blame him. Sometimes I don't trust that trick myself. So let's see if he goes with Zeb skip. Indeed he does.
Well, that looks really good.
Yeah, it does. Oh, he got the boost suit effect, but didn't crouch in time. Really close attempt. It's really tricky to crouch at the right position. You have very little room.
Yeah, it's a very, very precise stutter 3 tap, or if you can pull it off, 2 stutters 3 tap makes it a bit more easy, quote unquote, giving you a bit more room to work with, but still a really tight short charge.
And how do you like that Mother Brain 1 approach, just standing in front of the glass?
Absolutely beautiful.
And Mother Brain 2, once again, like Ridley, has 18,000 HP. Now there is a chance you can kill Mother Brain 2 before she even lands an attack. Oh, she dropped a nag. But she didn't even get to lay any catch-up. If you do the first shot at the right time, you can actually skip all attacks and go directly for the Rainbow Beam phase. And he forgot to turn off Verisuit, apparently. But he's still standing up. That's no problem. He just took some extra damage. The rules for stand-up is you have to be between 700 and 999 energy. Then that is without Verisuit. And then after Rainbow, you're gonna take 600 damage. After that, you damage yourself to less than 100, which is the case right now. And that's when the Metroid cutscene happens. You want to jump when the Metroid comes in, and be careful to not be standing in the ground at the wrong moment, otherwise you're going to be stuck, which you can get unstuck by the use of X-Ray. And Mother Brain 3, she has 36,000 HP, takes 36 shots of Hyperbeam. It is faster to land 35 shots during this cutscene we're breaking, though, because if you land the last shot, when the cutscene is normal again, she's gonna explode immediately, as opposed to landing all 36 shots before the cutscene gets back to normal. She takes a while to realize she's dead. Alright. Thankfully, nothing wrong happened to stand up.
Although called Mother Brain, she's really slow.
She's very slow, can even land an attack. All she has is Nag Spit. And now he gets Hyperbeam. Yay! About time. And from here on out, everything we're used to seeing. Let's see if Mishrak goes for dim swag strats. He can be an unpredictable dude at times. Hopefully a lot of people showed interest in this hack about how broken it could just destroy bosses, and maybe going for speedrun attempts. There is a leaderboard page for it that just recently got added to speedrun.com, and we've been looking for some competition. It takes around a half hour to beat. Now let's see if he's a traitor and he's gonna save the animals. Who would do that? That's such a despicable behavior. I don't know what's going on with Mishrak.
Mish, please.
Yes.
Mish.
Of course.
Phew, okay.
Of course. He will not enter. He will not join the Church of Traitors just yet. That is not time. Can't resist taunting those animals. You guys are so evil. And that would be time for Mish. What was the final time?
Looking at the restream right now, final time was a 29:46.
Alright, sub 30. Anything under sub 30 is good in my eyes. That can be viewed as encouragement for you to try to speedrun this hack. I don't know exactly where it can be found, but I'd be happy to see someone playing it, someone willing to play it. Well, that's the end of New Game Plus, but still not the end of the Super Metroid ROM hack session. There's still 2 more. The next one being Z Factor by Elminster, one of the more well-known ROM hacks. It is popular for a reason. And after that, there's going to be another popular ROM hack, Hyper Metroid.
Exactly. So definitely stay tuned to watch these awesome hacks as well. Z Factor being the long one, whereas Hyper Metroid, base of Project Base, will be a really fast-paced, powerful, speed booster heavy hack. So be sure to check that out as well. Thanks to Mishrak for showing us Super Metroid New Game Plus. Really solid run. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you want to get your revenge on all the enemies of Seb's, just get in contact, ask on Twitch and streams, and we'll make sure you get the hack.
And also, the marathon is a little far from over. We still got like 9 more hours to go. After the ROM hack session, we're gonna get back to regular vanilla Super Metroid with a few hard categories that you are certainly gonna be interested in watching. And even though we reached the donation goal, you are still able to donate. As you should remember, all excess money will be given to whatever institution Summer Games Don't Quit will help this time. I'm not sure if it's Prevent Cancer Foundation or Doctors Without Borders, but anyway, it's gonna go to there. Don't think any excess money will go to waste.
Absolutely not. I was going to mention that, yeah, every donation that is getting in now will be going towards the charity cause of the Summer Games Done Quick. So keep donating, and thanks again for making this possible and helping us getting one of our top tier world runners to the SGDQ and partaking in an N% race. It will be absolutely fantastic, and we are pretty hyped to see that in the future while we continue with this awesome marathon.
Yes, this is why the Super Metroid community is one of the best ever. We just get together to do stuff like this in favor of other runners for the sake of entertainment. We just like each other.
All right. Thank you for doing commentary, Idu. Much appreciated.
Glad I joined.
Very good commentary, insightful. Thanks a lot. And thanks again to Mish. And we'll be back shortly.